You're watching Good Day Columbus on ABC6.
You're looking live in Lancaster this morning. We're just hours away from the emotional procession for a fallen hometown hero. How you can pay your respects this morning.
Plus, breaking overnight, an intense fire at this apartment complex. Several people forced from their homes. Investigators on scene right now, working to find out what sparked those flames.
A live look into downtown Columbus. We have a major warm-up in the forecast, but first we have to deal with something else tomorrow night.
Well, good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday. It is April 3rd. I'm Jessica Ralston.
And I'm Kurt Ludlow. Really good to have you with us this morning. Happening today, in about 3.5 hours, the body of fallen Lancaster soldier Joseph Coletti will arrive in Columbus. He was killed last week in Afghanistan.
Here's a look at the procession route planned for today. His body arrives at Rickenbacker just around 9:40. After that, he will be driven to Lancaster. The procession will end at Frank Smith Funeral Home. His funeral is set for Friday.
We will have several crews along the procession route. Jessica and I will anchor special coverage starting at 9:30 on our sister station, Fox 28. We'll also have coverage on our ABC6 app. It is free. Just search for WSYX in your app store.
We know, Buck, thousands of people expected to line the streets. So how is the weather looking for that procession route this morning?
Well, we'll be a little chilly out there. Just a light breeze for you, generally coming out of the west and northwest, but a lot of sunshine. But if you are heading out there specifically for the start of that procession, it will be a little chilly. The sun will warm us up eventually into the 50s by midday today. So I would definitely wear something warm. You're going to be outside for a while. We're clear for most of our viewing area right now. A lot of the temperature is right near 39 degrees for most of the metro area with clear skies as well. That sunshine is going to help to warm us up very quickly. Groveport right now, which is actually reported from the Rickenbacker Airport there, 35 degrees. So a little colder down towards Groveport currently. I want to show you what we're expecting as we head through the rest of the entire day. We get up to 60 by the afternoon today. Winds will be out of the west most of the day, and we get even warmer heading into the weekend. There is also an anniversary today of something that happened 45 years ago. We're going to have that coming up in your full forecast. Stick around.
Alrighty, looking right now, 6:02. I want you to pay attention to the right side of your screen. 270 at 670. All lanes are back open. Those 270 northbound lanes have been closed for a good portion of the morning because of some overnight construction that took a little bit longer to clear up. Usually we see that clearing up by 5. Again, just in the last five minutes, they were able to open that area back up. Nothing to worry about on the east side. A little further to the west on 670, right around the airport exit, we're actually seeing traffic moving freely. We're not really having any problems. So if you have a flight to catch, not a lot going on out there right now. West and eastbound lanes looking good right now. Everybody moving and going 60+ miles per hour. Again, roadways are dry this morning, and you really shouldn't have any problems on your Wednesday morning commute as of right now.
6:03 and breaking overnight. Firefighters are on the scene on the east side. A fire broke out at this apartment complex near the Barnett Rec Center. Now, this started about 5 hours ago. 3 units are damaged with at least 6 people needing a new place to sleep. Nobody was hurt from this fire, and we will update you as we learn more about what may have caused it.
Just one day after violence erupted at the vigil for slain rapper Nipsey Hussle, police say a second memorial for him ended without any issues.
Officers set up special rules for people attending this event, and that included organized lines for everyone there, along with explicit start and end times. People were allowed to stop and take a moment at the growing memorial, but police made sure there wasn't a large crowd around it.
LA police announced that they made an arrest in his murder. Eric Holder, he's the man accused of shooting and killing Nipsey Hussle on Sunday. Now, police believe this was a personal dispute between the two men. We have been telling you that Hussle was supposed to meet with LA officers on Monday to talk about stopping gang violence. That's why the chief says the news hit him especially hard.
And then I saw the name Nipsey Hussle, and I looked at that again, and I looked at it again, and it was like, I could not believe it. It was like, it just drove the added violence even that much more severe.
The woman who drove Holder's getaway car spoke with detectives last night. TMZ says they let her go after an interview, but she could still face charges. Apparently she owned that car but didn't know what Holder had done once he got back in the car. This morning, he's being held without bail.
We've told you about the impact, the impact Nipsey Hussle had on the NBA community. He was close with a lot of players, including Ohio superstars like LeBron James and Steph Curry.
Another player who knew him well, former MVP Russell Westbrook. This is a photo he posted of them together from the All-Star game just a few years ago.
Westbrook made history on the court last night and dedicated his moment to Nipsey.
Bonga in the game, misses, he gets the rebound! Yeah! Wow. He said something to Daddy. Yeah. That's not do, Daddy. He said, that's not do, Daddy. Yeah. That's from Nipsey. I think we got Nipsey.
Russ is the second player in NBA history to post at least 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists in one game. The only other guy to do this, Wilt Chamberlain. Right after the game, Westbrook talked about the impact Nipsey had on him.
Overwhelming, man. It's unbelievable to go out and humbled and grateful for the game, man. But that wasn't for me, man. That was for my bro, man. That's for Nipsey, man. 20 plus 20 plus 20. They know what that means, man. That's for my bro. Rest in peace, Nipsey, man. I'm just thankful to be able to go out and compete at a high level, man. Thankful to have these teammates. Thankful and humble to be able to go out and play the game I love.
That 20-20-20 is a reference to Nipsey Hussle's former gang, the Rollin 60s Crips. Before the game, Westbrook wore a shirt that said Crenshaw on the front. It's one of the streets on the corner where Nipsey was shot and killed. After the game, Westbrook tweeted several photos of the night captioned with dedication, hard work plus patience, lyrics from one of Nipsey's songs.
Late last night, Nipsey's girlfriend made her first public statement since his death. Model Lauren London shared several photos of them and their family. She wrote, "I am completely lost. I've lost my best friend, my sanctuary, my protector, my soul. I'm lost without you. We are lost without you, babe. I have no words." Lauren and Nipsey dated for 5 years. They have a son together, and they were also raising children from previous relationships.
This morning, there's a petition for LA City Council to rename the intersection where Nipsey died to Nipsey Hussle Boulevard. It already has more than 200,000 signatures.
Another vigil will be held tomorrow night in New York City. Still to come, if you have problems with people speeding through your neighborhood, well, you are certainly not alone.
What 2 neighborhoods are doing now to make their streets safer.
Plus, this surprising scene shocking drivers overnight. Can you see the problem? Why police were called to wrangle these animals. Morning, and now a renewed push to crack down on speeding in 2 Columbus neighborhoods. The city says it's moving forward with its Slow Streets Columbus program. The goal is to keep neighbors safe by forcing folks to hit the brakes in Linden and the Hilltop. Along with getting input directly from neighbors, the city is analyzing speed, traffic volume, and other data, all to calm traffic there. We posted about some upcoming meetings about that program on the ABC6 app. Also this morning, an organization that helps so many people here in Central Ohio is now asking for your help. The Salvation Army says demand is up by 14%, but supplies at the food pantries is down. So they want you to donate, asking for peanut butter, canned meat, canned fruit and veggies, or just plain old cash to keep those 5 food pantries stocked.
The majority of people who come to the Salvation Army for food actually have jobs. Many of them, though, are working a couple of part-time jobs to make ends meet.
The Salvation Army says its holiday kettle campaigns missed goals this year. According to the USDA, Ohio is one of 11 states with above average levels of food insecurity. If you would like to donate to the food pantries, we've included a link on the app. Tap on this story. Coming up, Kurt was shaking his head and shedding tears watching the Blue Jackets last night. A really rough night on the ice. How our hometown team could still make the playoffs after this devastating loss. Plus, a former Buckeye in court, the video of his arrest going viral. What happens next in the case? Now the dog's official owner.
We love happy ending stories, don't we? Matthew is from Maine, and he decided to spend the winter in that camper exploring the country. That included skiing in Colorado. Well, in January, he was hiking on a trail when he noticed this dog hurt and scared. So he took it to a vet who says the dog was in really bad shape.
She had a non-healing wound on her face, and then we found porcupine quills in there. We then found out that she had heartworm disease,
and we treated her for 1 month with antibiotic.
Well, the dog's name is Amelia, and after weeks of treatment and rehab, she needed a new owner. So Matthew, listen to this, drove 1,100 miles to pick her up and take her home. He is really excited for their new adventure together. Before going back to Maine, they will explore Texas and Louisiana. Look how happy she is to see him.
I know, she is adorable.
How did she end up in the middle of nowhere? We just never know how those stories begin.
And then she was attacked by a porcupine.
Yeah.
Poor baby. All right, overnight, drivers in California greeted by an unusual sight. It's being called the Great Goat Escape.
All right, look at your screen. This happened near Sacramento. Can you see them? Goats. There they are in the dark, roaming a field there. Now, some of them ended up on the road and unfortunately were hit by cars. Police officers and highway patrol troopers had to help wrangle them up. No drivers were hurt. The road reopened overnight. And this is interesting. Police say the goats are part of a city grazing program, but somehow got away from their designated area.
The Great Goat Escape. Sounds like a cartoon.
All right, well, before we get to weather, let's take a look back in time. 45 years ago, today is the anniversary of the second largest tornado outbreak ever recorded. They hit more than a dozen states, including Xenia, Ohio. And that tornado was an F5 that hit with 318 mile per hour winds. It was on the ground for 31 miles and a half a mile wide at its widest. 33 people died with that particular tornado and that super outbreak. 148 tornadoes total, and there were more than 1,200 homes, buildings damaged just in that one particular tornado through Xenia.
I mean, an F5, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
There were some meteorologists at the time that were debating going to an F6 because that was so strong, because it was the absolute max winds that was ever recorded.
Was this up to 318 miles per hour?
Yeah.
You can't even imagine that.
No. And that's the most ever recorded in a tornado then, 318?
There's been some other, well, they didn't measure it because it all goes by damage with the Fujita scale.
Okay.
So they've changed the Fujita scale now where it's now the enhanced Fujita. So when we talk about tornadoes now, it's the EF0, the EF4.
Okay.
This was the old school one where it was just basically you have to see, all right, how level are these homes? Where did this damage get tossed to and everything else?
Wow.
So at that point, technology was so bad you could see
Sure.
You could see a hook on the radar, but you couldn't, I mean,
that was it.
Pictures of it, yeah. So, so that's what we are, I guess,
remembering today.
And remembering today. Yeah, not really celebrating, remembering today. 45 years ago. So I remember my dad saying specifically that storm when it was coming through, the sky was unlike any other day he's ever seen.
I cannot imagine.
Scary time.
So let's get to what we are watching. No storms for us. Dry, warm, and bright today. And we have some scattered showers on the way for later tomorrow and Friday. Warm weekend. We're going to be near or into the 70s this weekend, and some scattered rain next week as well. None of these look to be severe by any means, but some scattered showers will be working their way in for us. Some April showers, if you will. Tree pollen is going to be up to the high count. Elm, juniper, elm, and maple are the top three allergens. With the rain coming in, it does knock the pollen down a little bit heading into the end of the week. Current temperature here in Columbus, 39 degrees, west winds at 8 miles per hour, making it feel like the low 30s outside. So you will definitely want the jacket. We get to 60 this afternoon, a lot of sunshine on the way for us, and we get more clouds by this evening. So we are at 39 right now. We're going to continue warming up, about 53 by lunchtime today, a lot of sun, more clouds moving in by this evening. 60 by 5 o'clock. Light breeze out there coming out of the west, 15 miles per hour. Notice these clouds coming in late tonight. We will see some scattered light rain tomorrow, mainly to the northern part of the state. Not a whole lot in southern part of the state early tomorrow morning. It's possible, but best chances if you live to the north. Then we dry out through a lot of the afternoon. Notice even by the time we get to 5 o'clock, Clippers have their home opener tomorrow at 6:05, so I think a pretty decent chance to get a lot of the game and festivities in dry. We get more rain, though, by Thursday night. This whole mass of rain and goes out into Indiana, moves in for us for Thursday night, early Friday. So our best chance of rain will be Thursday night and early Friday morning. At no point do I expect it to be a complete washout or covering the entire area. So that's why we're not going with much more than a 60 to 70% chance of rain. But most of us will see some rain late Thursday into early Friday. Warming up for the weekend, 68 Saturday, 74 on Sunday. Rain does return late Sunday and into early next week. So warming up for the weekend, which I know someone that's happy about that and that it's not snowing, is Katie.
I'll believe it when I see it, Buck.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm I'm just kidding. All right, so 6:20 almost right now on your Wednesday morning. I do want to show you how traffic is building on the north side. So 270 at 23, looking good over here. Really not a lot of problems as folks are heading out. East and westbound lanes flowing freely at this time. Then we're moving on over to 670 at Leonard Avenue. We're also seeing the same thing. East and westbound lanes looking good as well. Let's pull up our graphics just to show you exactly what we've got going on. Up to the north, Delaware County, we have an accident reported 23 northbound at Highway 229. That's the only accident on our board right now. And as for your big picture, everybody's going 60 plus miles per hour. No major slowdowns or concerns. Dry roads for your Wednesday. Let's toss things out to Mobile Track now.
Yeah, good morning, Katie. We're 71 northbound, just coming past Cook Road and getting a pretty good commute right now. Starting to see that southbound flow pick up a little bit this morning. That's off the left-hand side of your screen as you head in out of the 270 outer belt and make your way to the downtown. But everything holding about 10-15 minutes from the outer belt areas into the downtown on dry roads with about 42 degrees on Mobile Track. So at least a little more comfortable what we've seen the last couple of days. Reporting live from Mobile Track, I'm Mike Kilburn.
A former OSU wide receiver will be back in court next month after facing a judge. Columbus police arrested Corey Smith last month. Officers say they talked to Smith when responding to a call about some shots that were fired in the Linden neighborhood. They later realized he was wanted on several warrants out of Akron, including one for aggravated robbery. When they went back to arrest him, Smith tried to run.
If the NHL season ended today, the Blue Jackets would make the playoffs.
Yeah, barely. They still have a couple of games left and two other teams fighting for a spot as well. And in what could be their final home game, CBJ fans left Nationwide Arena full of disappointment.
Unassisted call because the Blue Jackets touched it after Pasternak. Now Pullman with the pass across. Score! Jake DeBrusk with his second of the night.
I'll see, you can quiz me.
Well, the final score 6-2 Bruins. The Jackets could have clinched a playoff berth last night. Instead, they'll have to play well in their last two games to guarantee a wild card spot. So here's a look at the playoff picture this morning. Carolina and Montreal both won. We were thinking they would both lose. That means the Hurricanes are ahead of Columbus in the standings by 1 point now. The Jackets are tied with Montreal. The good news there, Columbus holds the tiebreaker with the Canadiens. The Jackets hit the road for their final two games. They're in New York to take on the Rangers Friday night. They play in Ottawa on Saturday.
Oh, Nelly, I mean, at least it's keeping things interesting.
I don't know why they like to do that to us. They could have we could have known last night. We're in, go. Now we're not so sure.
It's stressful on you, man. All right, well, still to come, a major moment in the college admissions scandal.
Hollywood stars accused of breaking the law to get their kids into college. Something's about to happen to them in just a few hours. It will thrust their story back into the spotlight when Good Day Columbus continues. Democrats pushed the DOJ for the full unredacted report.
Sinclair national correspondent Scott Thuman shows us their fight is quickly headed to the next level.
In a classic Washington-style standoff, one side is watching the clock, the other seemingly ignoring it. Democrats demand for the full unredacted Mueller report by the end of the day unmet.
I don't think Attorney General Barr has earned the benefit of the doubt here.
They allege bias at the Justice Department, while Republicans say Barr already fulfilled his legal obligations.
I don't think that passes the smell test. So I favor compelling the issuance of the report.
If they're not forthcoming, they're going to be an outrage, and there'll be a political price for the administration to pay by keeping it secret.
On Tuesday, they vowed subpoenas are next for the paperwork and eventually testimony. Republicans who'd alleged political bias in the FBI and the original investigation would like to issue subpoenas too.
It's a political issue. I mean, there'll be maybe some legal issues back and forth, but those could take a long time.
Are you worried about that?
No, I'm not worried about it. You handle it in an appropriate way.
Though the Trump team doesn't seem too concerned, at least not publicly, with the committee investigations here on Capitol Hill, it's the ones to the north in New York that some say should worry them.
That's where allegations of campaign finance violations and payments of hush money are being investigated.
Some people believe that that actually could be more of a concern, more damaging than the Mueller report.
They're wrong, as they were wrong throughout. How many times was there a blockbuster? He was going to get impeached, treason.
The president's personal lawyers tell me they have attorneys in New York to handle that. But back in Washington, Democrats are circling their own wagons over that Mueller report and have scheduled a hearing on Wednesday to add pressure. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
You're watching Good Day Columbus on ABC6.
We are giving you a live look at a very quiet Lancaster this morning, where so many will come together to mark the final homecoming for a soldier killed in the line of duty. We'll tell you how you can remember Specialist Joseph Coletti.
The gas tax, just one signature away from becoming a reality. How much more you'll soon have to pay at the pump.
And two robberies in the Hilltops seem similar. What happened just days apart that has so many seeing double?
Good morning to you, and thanks for waking up with us on this Wednesday, April the 3rd. I'm Kurt Ludlow.
And I'm Jessica Ralston. Happening today, the final preparations to bring a soldier home one final time. Specialist Sergeant Joseph Coletti killed while serving with the Army in Afghanistan.
His body will arrive at Rickenbacker in about 3 hours, and then you see the map, the procession that will travel on US 33 right to his hometown of Lancaster. And that's where our Mike McCarthy is live with details on how the community is honoring its hero. Mike?
Kurt, this morning, American flags here in the city of Lancaster are flying in half-staff now as this community prepares to hold a welcome home that no community ever truly wants to hold. But this community is committed today to showing the family of this fallen soldier that it holds his sacrifice and them in its highest regards. That procession for Specialist Joseph Coletti is set to end right here at Smith Funeral Home in just a matter of hours from now. There are a number of patriotic decorations here at this funeral home right now, wreaths and some bunting as well, and that is the work of a volunteer, someone who never knew the soldier but says she wanted to show how much she appreciates all he gave. Her name is Linda Bozeman. She spent yesterday helping this funeral home prepare. This morning, American flags lined so many streets in this community. She says she knows a lot of people in town did not know Coletti personally, but she says you don't have to in order to salute his bravery, dedication, and ultimately his ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Everyone in this town, they want to salute this young man, even though we didn't know him. That doesn't matter.
We're going to have our fire department set up their ladder trucks down here. We're going to have a very large American flag that the procession will go through.
Coletti graduated from Lancaster High School back in 2007. He joined the Army not long after that. He was deployed to Afghanistan in December, right after he got married. He was a bomb technician for the Army. His obituary says he will be so greatly missed for his amazing personality, sense of humor, and his love for life. He was the father of 2 young children of his own and a father to 2 stepchildren as well. Jessica and Kurt, the procession for this soldier is set to leave Rickenbacker sometime after 9:30 this morning. The timing of that is still being worked out. It all depends upon what time his body arrives here in Columbus. And then it will be a procession down US 33, and it will take some time, guys. His body is expected to arrive here at the funeral home sometime between 11 and noon. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are expected to line the streets in Lancaster. Will be here as this community does honor this fallen hero today. Guys, back to you.
As you just said, Mike, we will all be there for the entire procession. Special coverage starts this morning at 9:30 on Good Day Columbus over on Fox 28. Columbus police are investigating 2 robberies that are strangely similar. Let's start in the Hilltop. The owner of the country food store on Sullivan Avenue says this man walked into the store Sunday night and pointed a gun at his brother. He demanded money and was handed $4.
Well, he said that just wasn't enough, so he fired his gun right next to the clerk's head. Do you see these images? The bullet hit a carton of cigarettes behind the counter and went through a wall. The owner says the man made off with about $160. Then, about 24 hours later, someone robbed another store in the Hilltop, this one on Briggs Road.
Yeah, investigators say someone walked in with a grocery bag and demanded the clerk fill it with cash. Then they fired a gun at the clerk with several bullets hitting the cigarette display. The clerk handed this robber the bag of money and he took off.
All right, good morning, everyone. Time now is 6:34. The skies are going to be bright today. The sun about ready to come up here in about an hour from now, and we are already at 39 degrees with clear skies. You can actually see Venus right there. West winds at 8 miles per hour. So radar and satellite not really coming up with much right now. Temperature-wise, it's a little warmer than what it was yesterday. 39 in Columbus. Factor in a light breeze, and it feels like the low 30s as you're heading out the door. But look at the difference between right now and this time yesterday. We are now 6 degrees warmer than what it was at this time yesterday. The pockets that were cold yesterday, like Chillicothe, Lancaster, you're 15 degrees warmer than what it was at this time yesterday. Kids will still need to bundle up today. We're going to be in the upper 30s. Wind chill in the low 30s this morning. So it'll be sunny and chilly early today. We get to 59 by the time they're heading home from school. Partly cloudy, some high thin clouds starting to move in. But we are tracking some rain on the way. It should be fine for the kids today. But tomorrow, different story. We'll time out the rain coming up here shortly. Right now, let's get a check of the roads with Mike Kilburn.
Well, good morning. We are looking at a fire, this one on Artero Drive. This is up off of the north side off of Dublin-Granville Road, but it looks like this fire has been contained. This was actually a 2-alarm fire. It had a fire inside of an interior wall. We're waiting to talk to investigators to find out what the nature of this is. It doesn't appear like there's much damage to this. There you can see the investigators there right inside the door. Reporting live from Mobile Track, I'm Mike Kilburn.
This morning, state lawmakers say they have agreed now to a compromise on a gas tax and a transportation budget.
Once the governor signs off on this, the bill takes effect pretty quickly here, July 1st. Here's how it affects you and your wallet, too. Gas will cost 10.5 cents more per gallon. That is more than $1 extra for every 10-gallon fill-up. Diesel goes up by 19 cents. Governor DeWine says in its first year, the gas tax will bring in $267 million for ODOT. That money will be used to repair our roads and bridges.
Columbus City Schools' new superintendent says the district will not be giving Columbus Alternative High School a new building.
You might remember the students took the Scoring Our Schools team for a tour over health and safety concerns following a blown transformer there. Dr. Talisa Dixon says the district found no daily hazards or health risks at the school. The district looked into several options. All were expensive.
Instead of spending tens of millions on an overhaul, the district will make $1.5 million in upgrades over the next 6 months. That money will come from Operation Fix It. That was the name of the last bond that passed. The district plans to modernize the bathrooms and upgrade the asphalt, lighting, and fire alarms there.
The district also claims air conditioning for the whole building is just too expensive at $3.5 million. Instead, it's going to add cooling stations in the cafeteria and library.
Overnight, a recall alert issued for frozen beef patties. Check them out here. These are from Advanced Pierre Foods. This is a look at the label. The company says they might have pieces of plastic in them. To get the full details about this recall, just head to the Good Day Columbus Facebook page. 6:37 now this morning. The flames are out after an explosion and fire at another chemical plant in Houston.
Well, what's different this time that has Texas filing a lawsuit?
Paying to help their kids get into elite colleges will appear in court today. Lori Laughlin and Felicity Huffman are among 11 wealthy parents facing charges. They're accused of paying a college prep business to cheat on standardized tests and then bribing coaches. In turn, that would make their kids look better in the college admission process. In total, 50 people face charges in connection with this scam. One person is dead, 2 others hurt after an explosion and fire at a Houston area chemical plant. Now, this is the second fire of its kind near Houston. Neighbors say the explosion could be heard up to 2 miles away. It took firefighters more than 2 hours to put everything out. The county is investigating the damage and the impact on air quality. Texas's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against the plant's owner. Those long security lines at the airport don't just have you getting frustrated. After the break, how TSA workers really feel about their jobs. And massive flames erupt at this factory in Chicago. The number of people not going to work this morning after that building was destroyed.
Coverage of specialist Joseph Coletti's funeral procession on Fox 28 this morning. We have crews stationed from Rickenbacker to Lancaster starting there at 9:30. You can watch the procession live also on our ABC6 Facebook page and on our ABC6 app.
New video shows a massive fire at a chicken house in eastern Pennsylvania. Look at this. It was home to nearly 30,000 animals, all of them killed by the flames. No people were hurt. Firefighters aren't sure what caused the chicken house to burn to the ground.
No one hurt after this massive fire at a factory in Chicago. Look at all that black smoke and flames just billowing into the air. This is at a factory that produces batter and breading for frozen foods. Firefighters say the flames started in a cooking area and quickly spread. It took them around 5 hours to put out these flames. Smoke there so bad, some trains were forced to stop during rush hour. The factory collapsed soon after the fire started, but nearby offices were not damaged. As many as 3,000 workers could be impacted by that fire.
Well, you're not the only one frustrated with security lines at the airport.
TSA workers are upset with TSA too. That's all according to a new report from the Department of Homeland Security. Employees are complaining. They say the pay is low, management is poor, and there's no clear path to advancement. According to the DHS Inspector General, these complaints have forced a lot of TSA officers to quit their jobs. Issues keeping employees are affecting airports of all sizes, including some with as few as 4 workers.
If you think you have no legroom on flights now, get a load of this new seat. It's called the Skyrider 3.0 and was just unveiled in Italy. The company has designed it like a bike seat with a back support. It says the goal is not to cram more people on a flight, but to give airlines an even lower seat class called Ultra Basic Economy. So far, no airlines have ordered this seat, partly because they don't meet certain size and safety requirements. Basically, what this is, you stand. You stand, and there's a little bike seat that you kind of rest your behind on.
You know what that is like? There used to be a roller coaster at Kings Island. I think it was called the King Cobra, and it was the same setup. And that thing, your knees would buckle so fast. I couldn't imagine riding like that on a. Now, granted, you're flipping up and down in a roller coaster, but that's exactly the same style. You just kind of, it was kind of like a little squat, you know, that you had.
Right,
thing
I
over
remember it.
Yeah.
How low can they go? They say they're not trying to cram more people on a plane. Come on,
like
if you're standing up, of course.
Ultra Basic Economy. Next, they're going to sell the toilet seat in the bathroom. There you go.
Or, you know, just shove yourself in a carry-on in the bin above. $5 flight.
There you go.
Pack them in. All right, so roadways this morning. Good news. Not a lot going on.
Great.
Okay, my job this morning, kind of pointless. I'm
We
like a
that.
decoration, but whatever. I will show you our live cameras right now. 2 different areas. You can see the north side right there, 315 at North Broadway, looking good. North and southbound lanes, not a lot to complain about right now. 70 at 33, the same thing. We're seeing those westbound lanes flowing freely right as they're passing 33 or coming up from 33, heading around that curve where we typically see a lot of brake lights even at 6:47 in the morning. So as we continue into the 7 o'clock hour, of course, things will probably start to slow down a little bit. But I do want to show you one accident that we have. That's going to be up north here in Delaware County. We're looking at 23 northbound lanes being impacted right around Highway 229. Not really a lot of information or details about this. It doesn't show that traffic is slowing in that area, so the roadway is open, probably just a little restricted because of that accident. Hopefully we'll be able to clear it off in the next 10 minutes. Let's toss things out to Mike Kilbert in Mobile Check and check in with him this morning. He's probably kicking his feet up and relaxing a bit. Mike?
It's pretty quiet out here. I wouldn't say I'm kicking my shoes off and putting my feet up yet, but that accident there, 229, if you travel down from Marion, that's about midway point between Marion and Delaware City. So a lot of traffic that travels in from the far north from Marion would be affected by that. And of course, that's 2-lane traffic down in that area. Here's a look at 270-23 on the north side. We're just coming through the Worthington area right now. On our last check, we were checking out a fire. That turned out not to be anything at all. Fire investigators there was something internal, a wall, and they said that the second alarm that was called on that was a mistake. So that turned out to be not much of anything. Again, as we travel across 270, you see traffic definitely starting to build a little bit. We're looking at that traffic coming out of Sawmill Road, and things are starting to build a little bit on our freeways, but accident-wise, not doing bad at all. Reporting live from Mobile Track, I'm Mike Kilburn.
All right, thanks, Mike. As the kids are getting ready to head out the door this morning, the good news is we are dealing with a pretty good start to the day. It is chilly, skies are clear, and will be warm and partly cloudy by the time their kids are heading home from school later today. So I would give today an A+. I mean, we're looking fantastic, up to a high of 60. More clouds later in the day, but the majority of the day is going to be really sunny for us. And you can see just how bright it is outside on our tower cam currently. We are at 39 degrees once you factor in that wind at 8 miles per hour, so a light breeze right now. And that'll pick up about 10 to 15 miles per hour today. Wind chill at this point is 33 degrees, so it is chilly. Temperature-wise, not factoring in the wind, 30 in Athens, 32 in Logan, so we do have a couple of cold pockets, like out in Cambridge and Caldwell. Both of those locations are in the upper 20s right now. Again, not factoring in any breeze. You get a light breeze, it's going to feel even colder than that. So taking you out today with Futurecast, we're dealing with sunshine. 53 at noon. Still a lot of sunshine at 5 o'clock. These high thin clouds moving in later today, so we'll see more clouds by this evening. To a high of 60, though, before then. Some scattered rain showers moving in. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Most of the early rain looks to be for the northern half of the state and viewing area. As we go into the evening, though, 5 o'clock here, that's our next chance of any spotty showers on Futurecast coming in. More rain, though, out to the west. That moves in for us Thursday night into early Friday. So our best chance of rain is going to be Thursday night, early Friday. And I think Clippers tomorrow should be decent. Not going to completely rule out the chance of rain, but it looks like most of the rain is going to hold off until after the Clippers home opener tomorrow down at Huntington Park. 60, though, for the high for the day today. Warmer than what it was yesterday by 5 degrees. A little bit of a breeze for us. 41 for the overnight low tonight. Some spotty rain showers to the north. Tomorrow, 58 for the high. Scattered rain mainly later in the day. I just saw the osprey fly behind our tower cam, by the way. We're going to see this rain come in late Thursday, early Friday. By the time that we get into Saturday, 68 for the temperature there, and then we warm up even more Sunday with rain late Sunday, and then some light showers Monday and Tuesday next week. So definitely going to be warming things up heading into the weekend. And how about a jumbo cream puff winner now? Warming you up to that. I guess it's not really warm. It's cool. Logan, happy birthday to you. Same for Derek. You both win jumbo cream puffs to Schmidt's Restaurant in German Village, and a few new names added to the list like TJ, Allison, and Cindy. So hopefully you guys have a fantastic birthday today, and that list of names we went through earlier this morning. So if you want to nominate someone, go to my Facebook page or Twitter. There's a post right at the top. You have to click that link to get to the form to nominate someone and fill out the entire information, so that way we know who to mail the Jumbo Cream Puff winner coupon to, guys.
All right, Buck, stay ahead of the rain by downloading the official ABC6 and Fox 28 weather app. It features interactive radar and an hourly forecast updated by our team of meteorologists. To download, search for Ohio WX in your app store.
New at 7, the Taste of Clintonville is tomorrow night. More than 20 restaurants will be featured.
Cam Fontana is fastening his eat belt to get a preview for us this morning. Hey, Cam.
That's me fastening my eat belt. Actually, I worked on that move a long time. That's right, tomorrow night, Taste of Clintonville is happening. As you said, more than 20 restaurants participating at Mozart's. But this morning, we want to give you some time to see what's going to be featured tomorrow night at some of the different restaurants. Then you can get your tickets and plan on eating tomorrow. So our first stop here in Clintonville, so many good restaurants. We are going to begin with a common table. So Edwin, you want to go inside? Oh, wait, let's see. Is the door unlocked? Yes, it is. It's like a 50% success rate.
All right, Cam, looking forward to what you get to eat. As
there you go.
Yeah, what he gets to eat, not us. Hey, if you head to the Taste of Clintonville, make sure to take some photos and then share them with us using our ABC6 app. Just hit the chime in button. Your photos or vids may even end up on Good Day Columbus.
Firefighters in Cincinnati don't find any people at home, but they still had to make a rescue.
After the break, the special equipment they used to save man's best friend. Oh. A dog in Cincinnati is alive this morning thanks to what's known as a Fido bag.
Yes, so meet Freddie. Firefighters found this sweet little guy unresponsive inside his cage while his home was burning. They got him out, gave him oxygen for 20 minutes, and the Pekingese is improving. That is where the Fido bag came in handy. It allows firefighters to give the dogs oxygen and treat them for smoke inhalation with a mask fit for a dog's face. Do you see this here?
Yeah, firefighters didn't need long to put out the flames. No people were home. Quite a bit of smoke damage inside, though. But, you know, a lot of fire departments are going to these kinds of masks, and they're sticking them in their rigs because, yeah, you know, pets are part of the family as well. And when you're trying to save everybody, you got to get the pets out as well.
I know, you know, my mom got me these stickers for your windows that say pet inside so that they know if there's ever a fire, please find my dogs.
Look for them, exactly. Well, Good Day Columbus continues in just about 2 minutes on Fox 28.
The major show of support today to honor a fallen soldier. We'll have details about the procession for Joseph Coletti on Fox 28.